The meeting to order at 6:57. Library trustees. So, starting this evening, I thought maybe we might need to adjust the schedule for the approval of the minutes, but checking with Chris, the director's report normally comes first, so I didn't want to overstep. I was thinking with change of location, we might want to give you a couple of minutes, but you were here. So, do you want to go first?
It's completely up to you. This is your meeting. I'm just
Let's just see.
here to give you information and answer questions.
Then let's proceed with October 2nd minutes to see, did everybody have a chance to review those? Is there any discussion on October 2nd minutes or any changes? Not hearing any discussion. Is there a motion to approve October 2nd minutes?
So moved.
Called by Chris, seconded by Tom. All in favor of approving October 2nd minutes?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No. Motion passes to accept October 2nd minutes, and then moving on to library director's reports. Hey, Chris.
Hello there. Excuse me. Director's report for October 2025. We had one curbside pickup, a total of 374 patrons. We have 6 classes of students with a total of 12 visits for a total of 259 students visiting for the month of October. Storytime attendees, we had 128 adults, 169 children for a total of 297 attendees. We had 7 storytime events in October, including 1 bedtime, Ookie Spooky bedtime, and 1 Saturday storytime. Dungeons and Dragons, we had 2 events with 10 attendees. We had 2 volunteers with 5 visits and a total of 19 hours for the month. Not Just Knitting had 2 events with 6 attendees. Senior Book Club had 3 attendees. Regular Book Club had 10 attendees. Boy Scouts visited twice with a total of 29 attendees. Other meetings, we had 4 events with a total of 12 attendees. We issued 9 new cards, including 1 e-card. For Facebook page reach in October, we had 3,504. Facebook total page likes, it's apparently over 1,000. That's the same as last month.
Oh.
Page followers is October 1,097. Facebook page visits was 812. Facebook views, 21,565, of which 44.9 were followers, 55.1 were non-followers. Instagram page reach, October 21. Instagram followers, 210. Profile visits was 6. Instagram views was 96, which includes broken down is 44% followers, 56% non-followers. Our most popular Facebook post was the Ookie Spooky bedtime with 2,386, followed by the costume swap post with 2,045. Wi-Fi connections for October was 43. Website visits, 1,024. I had to look this up because it was a much higher visit than normal, which made it not normal. And so I looked into it in the Google Analytics, and that spike was caused by increased website views from China and Singapore, respectively 612 and 180. The US views listed as 305, which is closer to what we normally had. So I will talk to Cyber Optic and see what they want to say about that. I did look into Cyber Optic, and they said there was no attack, online. I didn't talk to anybody, but online it says that there were no attacks on our website. So I don't know what it. I can guess and I can suppose, but I'll get to Cyber Optic and ask them to help me out, help me understand that one.
Cyber Optic is the company that we get the website from?
Yes.
Cyber, O-P-T-I-C-S?
Cyber, C-Y-B-E-R, capital O-P-T-I-K.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Hubbardston items circulated regardless of the location, 1,571. All items circulated at Hubbardston regardless of ownership, 1,651. Requested holds for October, 192. Total number of patrons registered at Hubbardston, 1,485. Total number of items in the library, 11,533. Overdrive monthly checkouts for October was 980. Holds on Overdrive e-audio was 142. Ebook was 177 for a total of 319. The library was closed on Monday, October 13th for Columbus Day. We will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th for Veterans Day, closing early on Wednesday, November 26th, and closed on Thursday, November 27th, and the
Saturday.
29th, the Saturday for Thanksgiving holiday. I apologize for that. I will fix that. The Senior Book Club met on Wednesday, October 22nd, and discussed Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson. God, that's horrible. The next Senior Book Club meeting will be held on November 19th at 11 a.m. at the Senior Center in the Slade Building at 7 Main Street, where they will discuss The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. The October displays for both the adult reading room and the children's reading room highlighted Banned Book Week and Halloween. The November display will be about thankfulness. The file cabinets have been removed from the lower level. We have a volunteer who helped move a lot of craft and library supplies from the mezzanine to the lower level, and we are planning to have him clean up the leftover stuff in the oil tank room and the main stairwell. Respectfully submitted by Christine Barbera. The attachments were the state account. There hasn't been any real update on the finances, except for what I think it is. I haven't gotten. I used to get a monthly report from our previous town accountant. I am not sure that our current town accountant has enough hours to do that. So that might end up becoming quarterly. So please take these with a grain of salt. They're as accurate as I can make them. The next one is a list of the various pages that were visited over the course of the month on our website. Pages and screens, page title and screen class tells you, breaks it down. If you guys are interested, because when I make it this size, it gets really small, and I try to fit it on one page. If you would like, just like the top 10 pages that are visited, I can adjust that so that you just see that, but that's totally up to you guys. And the next two pages, one was the traffic acquisition, how it was, how people came to visit the website. And then the second one was the demographic, which broke down by country, who was visiting us.
Which was interesting.
Yes, it was. And I do think that was an aberration, and I don't expect to see that again, but again, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Actually, so Oogie Spooky story time?
Yes.
Did that work well? Was there feedback from staff and patrons?
It was an incredibly popular one. Tricia was surprised at the amount of people that she had, and as was I. I was not expecting that many. So I'm hoping that next year, when she does another Oogie Spooky story time, it will be downstairs and it'll be more congenial. I'm not that it was bad. It wasn't bad at all.
It was cozy?
I think it was. So
I heard it was extremely popular.
that's what I heard as well.
And I heard from families that they were extremely grateful for it. So I will say that, very
Okay.
phenomenal on that.
Well, I will say hands down that Storytime has, Miss Tricia has put new life into Storytime since she's been here, and I can't be happier.
Almost makes me want to have a little kid. Almost.
I have attended story time with my granddaughter, and I think it's wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a great job.
She does an awesome job. She's invested. She creates relationships with the parents and the kids. I can't be happier about it, and I think it's a testament to her that when story time is over, they stay.
Yeah.
You know, they're not moving on to the next thing. So they're usually, story time's usually over at 11. They're usually there till 12, 12:30. You know, so
Thank you very much. And thank you for your reports.
you're welcome.
Sticking with you though, I would like to draw attention to the trustees that Chris procured a quote from the contractor who made our prior children's shelving. And if you'd like to explain it, I'd like to present that to the
Oh.
trustees.
Sorry, my brain.
I can bring it up
Wait, what
if
quote?
you
No,
need
I
it.
know which quote you're talking about.
But for the children's shelving.
Yes, back in, I want to say 2015, 2017, Jane Arata, my predecessor, built or requested to be built 4 standalone bookshelves, mostly for the picture books in the children's room. They're on wheels that we can lock and you can move them away to get out of the way when you need space. Because we've really cleaned up a lot of the older books, we thought we'd have more space, but we have a lot of picture books and we have a growing graphic novel collection because the kids are really enjoying those as well, and we're running out of shelf space. So I reached out to the gentleman who built the original 4 bookshelves and asked him what would it cost to build new ones, the same, 2 more of the same one, and he said it would be $900 per piece, which is actually the same price that he did it for back in 2017. So it's something that it will take up some space in the children's room, but with the expectation that a lot of stuff is going to get moved down to the programming room, I think it will be a fairly equal amount of space that will be gained and lost between the 2 of those. And it'll give the kids more opportunity to have more books, which is good. And our current, the current books that are being checked out at this time, most of them are juvenile. Most of them are juvenile, so I think it's, which makes me incredibly happy. But I also think that it would be great if we had a bigger collection for them to utilize.
It's also, they're tight in there too.
They are
like
tight
you
in
said
there,
that,
yes.
but it's like it's easier for people to look at the books when they're not so
That's true.
crammed in there.
Yeah, the adult reading room looks really good. There's a lot of shelf space, so we can expand there. But the kids' room, it's tighter. But they also reread their books a lot too, whereas adults just tend to read a book and move on.
Thoughts, discussion, feedback?
Yes.
So may I present to a motion or ask for a motion, just in case, a motion to proceed with the purchase of the 2, Tom?
That motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of purchasing 2 bookshelves from John? Aye.
Is he a local man?
He is in Peterson.
Good.
So
And then
everybody.
I'm waiting for Krista. Were you
Yeah.
voting yes?
Yes.
So then it would be 600.
Okay.
All right. And then I have asked Ann and Trish if they have anything that they ever want, and they can't send an email and stuff like that, but just communicate one way or the other, and I threw library staff underneath yours. There was a brief discussion with regards to procuring more of the small, short bookends. Is that set? That was the sticky
The
note
what?
I had.
I'm sorry.
The small, the
The
little,
short, little ones.
I can get those from Demco, yeah.
So if that can be noted.
Yep.
So small bookends versus the
Oh,
taller, so
okay.
that has been a request. And that's, right, yeah.
Where did the money come from to buy the shelves?
Oh, that would be nice if we did that, wouldn't it? Yeah, let me bring this up. So, pulling up estimations from our accounts. So, it's appropriate to pull correct from state. Supplies is at,
Where does Chris want to take it
yeah.
from?
It is, I don't have a preference on where it comes out of. I'm hesitant about the supplies only because, I'm sorry, supplies I tend to do books
Yes.
and DVDs and Overdrive. I could certainly utilize it for that. Services might be a better one, but that's where I pay bills with. So if oil prices go high or electric goes high, which I think I heard rumors that that might be the case, so I would probably want to avoid services and supplies for that. We could do the donation account or the state account, but I think you approved monies last month from the donation account, so state account might be the the way to go.
Let me go back to this.
Although we could put like a little sign on them saying paid for by the road race or, something.
That's
like
true.
that. I don't know. I mean, we could
You
do it.
certainly could do that, yeah. If you did it
Just-
from the donations account, we could certainly set up a little placard. I can reach out to John.
I don't know how important that is.
As I'm pulling up the minutes, just to review.
Is the Clark account just for, one of them was just for the library? Maybe it would be good to take it from one of those.
All right, so if I recall correctly, Fairman is just for the beautification of the town center. Buffum is just for purchasing books. And we have not been able to successfully figure out what Church, Clark, or Freetown are for,
Okay.
to my knowledge, according to the town accountants that I spoke with or the treasurers that I spoke with.
Along those lines, I think I found something 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Made a
we
little
have that
report.
information in here somewhere. Do we-
Not for tonight, but
Okay.
So looking at the Clark Trust, it doesn't look like there's any principal in it. If we took out the 1,800,
Yeah, that
we
would
would
be-
pretty much be wiping that out, but it's probably not gonna grow, because if there's no principal, it's not gonna,
Right.
so it could be,
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the Clark. I think they used it back in 2008, 2009 when they were trying to keep the library open during decertification or
Sure.
defunding.
I think fewer funds is better, like if they're just a little bit of money, maybe that would be good to take it.
they're not earning
Is that-
anything.
Hmm?
They're not earning anything.
Okay.
I mean, 3% or something.
So preference
Oh, earning
to,
anything, I thought you said hurting.
I'm sorry, my
Yeah.
voice doesn't work.
No, it's me.
am I hearing correctly, preference seems to be to draw from Clark?
I'm just putting it out there.
I'm fine with-
Because if you take
yeah.
that 1,800 out, there's only
Yeah.
400 left, and if there's no principal in it, it's not gonna be accruing any money.
And it
so we
hasn't
might
been much.
in the future,
No.
so we might as well just
Does
close
the
that.
report say zero principal, or does the report just
It's,
not report
it's a dashed
principal?
out.
It says a dash,
Okay.
so I'm assuming that means
Well,
all the
I
other ones
believe
have,
that
all the
is-
other ones have principal amounts listed in them.
I believe that Clark has no principal in it. I think I had asked a while ago, and that's why I added that
Mhm.
column, so, because someone had asked before what we had.
Right.
And so I asked the accountant, I believe it was Kelly, but don't quote me on that, and she gave me that information.
Well, let's take it from, I make a motion, we take it from Clark with the long-term goal of exhausting that fund
Yeah.
and simplifying our lives a little bit. But for now, the $1,800.
Motion to approve this purchase from the Clark Fund.
Made by Tom. I'm looking at Connie because
second.
you had, okay.
Okay.
All in favor? 600.
So it's $1,800 even.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, there might be a delivery fee in that.
Okay. Well, I just won't
If
put
it
the
goes
amount
beyond
in.
the 400 delivery,
Okay.
let us know. But if we amend that motion to cover costs up to the extent, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do we need to officially vote to amend the
The
motion?
motion didn't say
I just said-
$1,800, did it?
No, motion to approve the purchase
use it.
cost
Yeah.
of the new bookshelves from the Clark
done.
Fund.
So the prior purchase from last month was with regards to the Easy Up tablecloths. Any actions on that?
Nope.
Okay.
I did talk to Tricia, and she is amenable to trying to get creating the,
I think we also have some time because I think the season for that might be paused.
okay,
So I wouldn't say it's a rush.
okay.
You might be able to get Black Friday sale too, I don't know.
Oh, that's
So no staff report?
Nope.
I am going to try to. I did not link this, and I don't know if I will forward the email that came out, and I'm going to try to look that up right now. But I am pleased to announce that the town was awarded through the efforts of Trish a grant, which is primarily going to be focused on in the Hubbardston Library, is the recipient of nearly $60,000 through the Massachusetts Broadband Institute of Municipal Digital Literacy, if I can remember that correctly. I've kind of moved on. I'm trying to bring up the email now. We were asked, Trish was asked to slightly amend the request. The funds are going to be used to support renovations and technology upgrades at the Hubbardston Public Library, which will include a new multimedia room. The digital literacy programs is key to it, and resident support services. Trish worked closely with the MBI to ensure the applications were competitive.
Did you sent the email?
Did I forward this
Or-
on
no,
to the
did you?
trustees? I will be
Oh,
forwarding
okay,
it.
okay.
So I wanted to make the announcement here
Great.
at the trustee meeting. And more information will be coming out through.
So $60,000 to be used-
Nearly. It is like
58 something.
Okay,
yeah, it might be like 58,999.
okay, to be used at the library for renovations and,
So it will support renovations and technology upgrades. It's going to include tablets. Initially it was like for MacBooks, but they wanted tablets, so we adjusted that, and that adjusted the award volume. It is specific for digital literacy program targeting. I think part of it is specific senior literature or senior literacy in computer technology, which actually I'm super happy about because I've heard a couple requests now, and I was like, I think the library could do this. Just wait. And then support resident support services. So there's a lot that this can do down the road.
Support services as in like a help desk type thing?
There are different applications of it. Part of it and part of upgrading is like they have to work, I believe, with CW Mars or whatnot, the connectivity. Our broadband at the library is going to be affected and increased, like the connectivity in our Wi-Fi, and this is above my head, and I feel like I'm cheating.
Okay, so I was on the Massachusetts Broadband Committee back when they first started this, and they did a whole bunch of questionnaires, and they asked people at focus groups what were the issues for rural access for internet, how do people access the internet? Do they access the internet? How comfortable are they with using computers? And this grant tries to address some of those issues. The people who are running the initial committee from Massachusetts, not from Hubbardston, were very focused on offering hardware for people to learn how to use the internet or how to use computers. Digital literacy is definitely something that has been around for a while as far as teaching people. We just haven't done it here because we've never had a place where we could do that. I happen to know somebody from Making Opportunity Count who has been logistically involved in creating a digital literacy course at a senior center in Fitchburg, who is willing to work with Tricia to help her facilitate how to do this. So it would be giving people the opportunity to learn how to do computers. This is and we have to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's on this one, because they're gonna say, well, how are you spending your money? And we can do that. As far as a help desk is concerned, anytime someone calls up and asks us a technical question. If I can answer it, I will. I don't think it's definitely geared towards paying for a help desk if somebody wants to understand how to cut and paste, or, you know,
So it's more
Coding and-
programming again.
coding in Python, I can't help them, but, you know, getting them to
Yeah.
where they need to print up what they need, that I can do.
But it could also bring people in and/or connect us to,
License.
Oh, and it'll.
to programming.
Yeah.
As far as the fiber, they're looking to give us a fiber optics connection, which is very fast, much faster than what we have now.
Yes.
And that is the question for CW Mars that I would have is, you know, this fiber optics, I think that I'd have to get a clarification, that the grant would say that we could use it for connecting to CW Mars, because we don't have to pay CW Mars for our connection. We do, because it makes it easier when we have issues. I can call them up and they help me. But they want us to go in a different way to pay for that, because they're having financial constraints going on with everything that's going on right now. So they want me to go with something called an E-rate through the FCC, as opposed to what I'm currently using, which is a small library internet loan or internet connection. It's a grant that helps cut down our internet payment. The problem with that is I would have to upgrade a lot of our computers to do things that I'm not sure that I would be comfortable implementing, because it's almost something that you'd want to have CM Geeks handle, as far as the you have to have a certain type of oh, my brain is not working, security on the computer. And I'm not sure I'm comfortable at that, to handling that. And the application is challenging. There are very few libraries that are actually doing it right now.
I feel as though the grant was very detailed in how it was going to be used too.
Yep.
If I felt as though, and Trish would be the one, like I overviewed it, but I don't have a clear, if there was additional funding for supplies, but it felt like it was very
It is very specific
as
as
to
to
what
what you can't do.
exactly.
Yes.
So I feel like that might be down the road, but circling back to costs, if the library is eligible for this, National Grid announced that they have a seasonal heat pump rate for Massachusetts. So if we're able to look into that, so National Grid said and has announced that they have a heat pump rate of 0.0244 cents, which is lower than the regular
I'm sorry, what was that
rate.
again?
So the rate that they're quoting for heat pump is 0.02440.
And is that for personal or for?
That's where I don't know.
All right, I'll
but
reach out.
I remember having seen and heard just recently, and given that we do have the heat pumps.
Right.
And with knowing, I think it might be coming up on the 15th, or maybe it was the 1st of November, National Grid was increasing their seasonal rates.
I heard they just got rejected.
Okay. I heard Eversource got rejected. I did not hear
Oh, I'm
National
sorry.
Grid.
I'm mixed up. You're right.
So I heard that there was some pushback, and I heard Eversource's rates and their rate hike got rejected, but yeah.
Okay.
So potentially. So, thanks to Trish with regards to that and procuring that grant.
Just going back to the grant real quick, and not knowing the details of what was in it, but it'd be really nice if part of that digital literacy education could be the creation of like online tutorials, so people who can't come to the library could view tutorials on like how do you print, how do you set up your email account, that they could view from home. So
Don't those tutorials already exist on Microsoft?
some do, but you know, you might be able to,
Might be
You could
part
just link
of.
them.
you could do that too. We could also just create some other like local custom, you know.
So you want to find out if we can do that, or you're saying we should try to do that?
I don't know if it's in the
If it's
grant, that
possible.
I would think it would be a nice option to have, is have this information available to people who can't necessarily come into the library or prefer not to come into the library, to be able to use something online.
Okay.
Is the grant document available to read, or is there a summary of it or something?
I will share what I have for a summary, and I will
Something
see if I
simple.
have specific additional information,
I don't
okay?
want the whole grant, just.
I
you
do.
know. Oh, you do, yes, but the first 3 pages.
Because I
is
looked on the
fine.
website, because I thought she said we got it, but I couldn't find any information about it. Anyway, it's really great.
Yeah.
That's great news.
And then I will invite her and additional information as it comes out and rolls out. We will be aware of it. Events for November. November's calendar is planning for CPC grants, and then also we had it on our calendar, and I kind of tabled, but consider town warrants for the town meeting. So discussion on that.
Well, I mean, I thought that the town manager was going to come to the meeting tonight.
Town
That
manager
sounds-
is away until the 14th.
Okay. I don't know if you, because you've been working on this.
Right, and yeah, I was waiting for guidance from him because he said he hadn't opened it up yet
Mhm.
with the, with the new website and everything. He just hadn't got to it yet, and I know that he's not available at the moment.
Until when, did you say? I don't know if I should put this in here.
Yeah, 14.
Okay.
Do we have any warrants besides our annual budget type thing?
To my knowledge, no additional.
Have we addressed that question about the firearms?
No. Would we like to address that now, or would we like to ruminate and come back on it?
I think
Do we
can
have
say we're
time to
considering-
table it?
We'll be
No,
discussing.
from the table.
We don't have, when do we have to submit a warrant? Not for a little while.
Not for a while.
I think it was like April or something.
Yeah.
you have to submit warrants.
I have not, one of my go-tos is always to check wording of what has come before
Mhm.
and what kind of settles, and I am not prepared with that, of knowing what to say. So I wouldn't know how to begin a discussion on that.
All right.
But I'm completely open if anybody else has thoughts or would like to feel it, or happy to table it. And when trustees do have some thoughts, we can bring it back up, but we have time. And as possible additional things come up, we can add it to our discussion on town warrant.
So trustees will discuss a possible warrant, and do we want to put that in?
Any possible warrant
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
Possible warrants at a future meeting.
Everyone bring one next time.
Just going back to the November calendar, this is to plan for CPC grants, not CIPC grants.
Yes.
So CPC grants are due in
Oh.
January. Maria's working on CIPC.
Okay.
So it's just whether or not we want to start, is there anything we want to submit to Community Preservation Committee for their January 15th deadline? It's January deadline, I think.
Okay.
I'll stick with January.
So let's stick with January.
Is this the place where you can ask for equipment or funding of something?
That's CIPC.
Okay.
We got $40,000 from CPC.
Yeah, lower level renovation is CPC.
Yeah, I should have asked, does that include like TV hookup stuff, or is that
This
I don't
is the
feel like that's- this
preservation,
is-
this is the preservation funding.
Versus capital improvement, so preservation, character, nature.
Okay.
It'd have to be related to, we probably would fall under the historical category, so it'd have to be like the preservation of like the building.
Do we want to move into the other side of the lower level?
Well, we have $60,000 for the media room,
Yeah.
so one of the rooms is already kind of covered through this grant that Tricia got.
And we have the other
Does that tear down partitions and do electrical work, or is that just computers and?
This, I'm going to have to find out, and it isn't this, they're moving away from computers. It's not going to include computers, and we're not going to have like a computer lab. It's going to be like, my understanding is that there will be like tablets. So imagine this even folded. It's not even a laptop,
I
it's just
understand
a
what
tablet. And then like the schools have the rolling carts that have the charging stations. So for that, for equipment, just so that it can be charged and they have a storage facility. So it isn't a lot of equipment and taking up space. A lot of it, my understanding is to reinforce the broadband and access and things like
But it's
that.
not gonna renovate the other half.
There will be some renovations, but I cannot speak to the extent of what that will be.
Well, that's a
And to
topic
what
for next
extent?
time, maybe.
I don't have that, but yeah.
I feel like we can't, or we maybe don't want to ask for more CPC money until we have a plan for spending the money that we already got.
And until we have a specific need.
Because I
rather
think
than
they do
looking
it
for-
twice, don't they do it twice a year?
Yes, they do. I have the
You
dates.
know,
Oh, good.
you
I
know.
know what the dates. It's, application deadlines are January 15th and July 15th.
Okay,
Oh.
great.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's July 15th is nice. That way,
It is late.
no, but I like it though because it, yes.
Yeah.
But it would be for the following June, right? Like the
Yes.
June one would be for this coming town meeting, and then the July would have to be the following year.
Correct.
Right, it would be,
Yeah, if you
It'd be FY
if you
27.
submitted something in January, that would go to the June one. And if you did one in July, well, like, I don't know, would they do it at a special town meeting? If they had one, I don't know.
Right, I
You're
guess
right,
it could be
it would
possibly
probably
sooner.
be for the
yeah.
next,
Okay,
probably for the next fiscal year.
okay.
I concur with regards to let's use what we have, let's get a better plan versus trying to look to see what we could ask for. I feel like that's the responsible action.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion on events? Hearing none, if we want to move into the working group reports, and I'll start by thanking Chris and Krista with regards to starting off the discussion with regards to the MBLC policy training and starting off our meeting last Thursday, so thank you both.
We had a meeting with Maria to address any questions that she might have as a newest trustee. And helped with the login, I believe,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
had some questions about what we're all wondering about the CPA and the CIPC. And I think that's a good thing to do for new trustees, is to actually have a hands-on, face-to-face
great.
meeting and see if there's any difficulty with access or just general questions.
Did you mean CPC or CPA?
Well, that's what we had a little discussion
Oh,
about,
okay.
just the confusion
The
that
difference.
revolves
Are we
around
involved
that.
with the CPA? What? Okay.
Just clarifying.
Yeah, acronyms are fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so on top of everything and active. Is there additional
Anything else,
training that you would
Kristen?
like to draw our attention to, and or resources that you have in the drive that you would like to draw our attention to?
We really just have 2 documents, and one is a list of resources from MBLC. They do a good job with training, so we didn't want to reinvent that, just
Yeah.
point it out.
That's important and key. And as you guys find things that are really like timely and important to trustees, please continue to share. Is there anything further on that?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. Library lower level renovation.
Yeah, so we met twice this past month. At our first meeting, we were talking about whether to be doing a request for quotes or request for proposals. I think we're leaning towards a request for proposals so we can hire a general contractor to kind of oversee the entire project. We started putting together kind of like a list of needs, like some of the scope of the project that would go into the RFP. Tom and Chris met with the building inspector to look at whether or not the wall could be removed, if it's load bearing or not. Tom sent some lovely pictures, and I'll let him talk more about the wall. So,
Now,
yeah, you can talk more about the wall now.
Well,
It's part of the renovation.
we've concluded that it's not load-bearing. It's a partition. It can be removed without consequence, structurally or whatever. We haven't completely determined if it has any historical significance, and Chris is going to chase that down. And the permitting process for just the wall, or the walls, I should say, the wall that is the big wall, and then the little wall that's associated with the clerk's counter, is pretty simple. My compliments to the building commissioner. He's informative, helpful, prompt. He's everything he needs to be. And he's been very helpful. As soon as we hear the historical green light, we'll do the work green light.
Fantastic.
And I'll prepare the documents necessary to do the work as a phase one. Whether we actually do that or not is really dependent on how we structure the RFP and whether that scope goes into the RFP or whether it stays out. But we can, I feel like we're
Wall,
moving
you're
along.
saying the wall, we're still not sure.
Well, the
The
wall
wall-
historically. We want to just cross our Ts and dot our Is with the historical people.
But,
Make sure we're not,
okay, I'm sorry, I just missed the very beginning. Did you say it can come down? It's not
it
structural?
is not a structural member. And of course, if we get into it, like any renovation, if you find something, the building inspector just said, tell me what's going on, and he'll come and make a new judgment. But it's 99% not a structural member.
And that's what the images showed.
Yes.
So,
I
I'm
was
sorry that
I know.
I
didn't-
wasn't-
I didn't flower it up. I was told by another trustee once to be concise.
did I say that?
No.
Oh.
What a me.
So our.
She moved to Athol. But she meant it in a good way. She's very nice.
She says hello to everybody, Marty. I've seen
you
her a
saw
couple
it?
times.
So our next steps is Chris is going to reach out to the Mass Historical Commission just to make sure there's no concerns about taking the wall down from a historical perspective. We're also going to be starting working on an RFP. And so the RFP has to, we can work on it, but it has to be sent out through a procurement person, which is either Nate or Travis. So we're going to work on drafting it, have one of them review it, and then kind of figure out, try and get an RFP out in the next month or two.
So you are able to, you have a couple of different paths that you can work with. Fantastic.
Yeah. One thing we wanted to come back to the group tonight with is that we do have that black mold issue on the basement side. We have a quote for it to have it repaired for $5,500. And that is something that's out, it's not part of the CPC grant that we have. So we would like to have the trustees consider approving funding for us to kind of move forward with that now.
So we have actually been, I should have announced this, I'm sorry. So we have already submitted through the town, like through insurance claim, like in a.
So that's been submitted already?
It's already been submitted, and I feel like it's in progress. So before we have to, I have to check on that. So let me take an action. In the instance that it's not, let's take a motion, but I believe the wheels are in motion for
Can we make a
an
motion?
abatement. I'm trying to
Okay.
think of the phrasing of it, and I felt like it was already starting to move, but I haven't heard an update on that because certain things
Right.
are on hold.
Sure. So does that mean we need to wait to hear from the insurance before we can move forward, or is this?
I would hold off because we might not have to pay for it, is my understanding.
Right.
And that might already be in the progress. It's just one of those things that there's a list of things that I was supposed to hear back on, and
Sure.
I'm not.
Right. Okay, so,
So I don't know the timeliness on that and how fast they can act on that, because I think it will be at the earliest, the middle of the month, end of the month, before I hear back on.
right.
the
Yeah,
concerns.
no, yeah. Okay, so we can, I guess.
Where is this money? We have an estimate for the cost, is that what you're saying? So
Yeah.
the insurance knows about this estimate?
I don't know if they
too.
do.
We don't know.
Yes.
So,
they do.
so the
They do.
insurance does?
Yes, they do, because I sent
sent that
that
to them?
to the town office. The town office has submitted an insurance claim for that using the quote that we received.
Well, they
Okay.
have submitted the claim?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have not heard back with regards to that process.
Right.
And that's what I was waiting.
Okay, so I guess, so Tom, I would hold off.
But in the instance, so I don't know the time, things are on hold. If we didn't have to pay for it, and would the trustees feel comfortable tabling that action until December?
We could make a motion to cover it, like, if we don't hear back maybe by the end of the month or something.
Because that's what I was wondering. Our next meeting would be like December
That's
4th.
true, that's right after
So that's
that.
what I was wondering.
When would we hear? Well,
We don't
Tricia,
know.
Patricia.
I can
She could
follow up
probably-
on that end as well. So I will make that on my action items.
Does the insurance company reimburse or only reimburse if they have prior approval before the work is done?
That's what this process, my understanding is that if we went through them, it would be covered, basically, is what I was under the understanding.
Yeah, but after
And it
the
sounded
fact
like it was.
or,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Usually the process is the insurance company issues the check to the vendor.
Yeah.
Because if they give it to you, you might not get the work done. So that's, I think that's why they do that. No, not you. Not you personally.
So I will put that on my to-do. I will follow up tomorrow. Question on the lower level. So yay, filing cabinets are out. A Board of Health documents and that,
Nope, those are still there.
okay. Do we know about a timeline on that? Because I thought that was coming up, that those would be removed.
I have not heard of a definite date that those are going to be moved. I've heard rumblings and rumors, but I don't want to commit to any of those.
Okay. How is the space in the meantime between functionality? Would the library want to use it and open it up? And if so, to what degree and for what purposes? So in the instance of like, I don't think they're quite ready for an ooky, spooky storytime type of programming.
Right.
But if we needed the space, would you guys be open to that? Are the scouts still meeting upstairs or?
They are still meeting upstairs, yes. I would want to take a look around. We've had an event in the past. We had the senior art show, which worked out incredibly well. There was a good flow, and if we were to do something of that ilk, yes. Food pantry is on hiatus. I haven't heard anything from that. Although I did hear from somebody who has collected some food and would like it to go to Hubbardston residents, and asked if we were setting up a pantry, and my first reaction was, yeah, that'd be great, and then I'm thinking of all the different logistics, because I'd want to pull in the Board of Health, because I don't know what this food is, so could we conceivably have, like a one-shot food pantry, or maybe on a, potentially yes, but again, we've got mice, so we would have to come up with some way to make sure that the food was not tampered with, so there's a lot going on there. So it really depends on what you might be considering having downstairs.
So with the trustees approval and understanding that the space is going to be renovated and things like that. So I don't want to open it up to the public and say, hey, come to the library, the first floor is open for any of the events that you want. But given that we have the space and it is starting to be opened up at the discretion of library staff and director with the approval of the trustees, I would foresee that we could start utilizing it. It might scare away the mice. Maybe we could get a library cat, Dewey. With the appropriate size and things like that. So it's this delicate balance. I know that the space isn't exactly what we want it to be, open for programming yet, but then likewise, if we're able to use it as we move into renovations, how do the trustees feel?
Couple more pieces of information. There's still a printer down there that's actually connected over to the other, or not connected yet, over to the other office. It's Mel's
Yeah.
equipment.
Is there still a computer? I thought there was a computer still down there too.
There is,
Yeah.
Yes,
yes.
there's a
Yes,
printer
right.
and a computer.
And there's,
I would be hesitant, that is a good question, that's a good observation. I would be hesitant to have the public be able to just walk through where that computer is.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't have a time frame on when that's going to be moved. I do know that she has received at least one quote for it. I don't know any more than that. But she would like to, I think she's more passionate about getting it moved out of there than we are. Because every time she has to do something, she has to go down back there again, so.
And there's still a lot of documenting. That back room still has a fair, there's some
The
Board of
pile?
Health.
Yeah, that's the all
That's the
Board of Health.
Board of Health stuff, and so
And then there's some stuff.
And so there's privacy things there. I would think that I would be a little, is there privacy issues there with like having people?
I don't know the answer to that. I do know that they're planning on moving it to the second floor over there at some point.
Like upstairs in the library?
No, it's
The
upstairs
office.
here.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't have a time or time frame on when that's going to happen either. So with the provision that the computer is gone and the files are gone, then yes, I would.
So coming up, when these happen,
Mhm.
and maybe a little bit, yeah. So,
one more comment. I thought the food bank thing was going to be coordinated by Gardner, and it was going to be an in and out.
It was. And then the person who reached out to us to do this left her position and someone else took over. And I have not, Tricia reached out to them and it's been pretty much crickets.
Okay,
So,
but I'd highly recommend it be in and out. Nothing stays.
I
Yep.
fully agree.
The only other issue is mold. And if someone has a
Respiratory.
particular response to that, that's a great.
So in the instance, though, that there's like a feasible event, such as the senior art show or another thing, and the library staff felt it was appropriate, would the trustees give consent to the library director to approve events as see fit on the conditions of the printer, computer, Board of Health being removed?
I think if these events are November, December, I'm hoping this wall's coming down.
Exactly. We're not going to do it with
So-
renovation, so it's like one of those, definitely see.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to also, it would be hard to be able to plan it in advance. Like people couldn't necessarily come and say, hey, can I do this in March? Because I don't
Correct.
think in March.
Yeah.
we know it's
Exactly.
gonna- So,
Correct.
so it would have to be a more like, can we use the space this week?
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
as opposed to scheduling further out.
Yeah.
Would there have to be a staff? You know, like if it's story time, Tricia would be down there, for example, but, you know.
I think it also depends on what exactly is taking place.
Has anybody asked about it?
nope,
Yeah.
not, well, they haven't asked me. So,
I think it should wait till the renovations are completed,
Okay.
because someone would get in the way of that, so.
I think I agree with you, Maria. Like, I would
And
feel
the
more
molds
comfortable waiting
removed.
until it was done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
We can revisit it in a month or two.
I agree. And see how progress is being made. Are there further considerations or further items that the lower level renovation group need to discuss with the trustees or need feedback from or approval or anything like that?
Along the lines of the last topic we just discussed, I would rather open it up and have people go in and say, wow, than open it up and say, watch out.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So we're deciding to wait.
Yeah. So I brought this up because the library lower level was mentioned and suggested as a meeting location by others. So it may be sought after. And I agree with everything the trustees have said. And it would be much better to have our lower level in a place ready for, without question, in my mind. And there are still lingering. Not everything has been moved out yet.
yeah, and we don't have furniture down there.
No.
We don't have tables. I mean, we have one table.
We do have that,
Yeah.
and then we have little tiny chairs. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with those chairs. Others, I don't know. My feet hit the ground.
So
For
just to be
change.
clear, hold off on any events in the lower level until after renovations.
Correct. And until things are addressed as far as getting other
Yeah.
town documents and equipment out.
Well, I would think that the renovations wouldn't occur until those things have occurred.
I would hope.
Or hopefully the scheduled
That
renovation
pushes.
will ensure that those things occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about that one room, which is pretty empty, right? Oh, no, the computer isn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the filing cabinets got moved out.
They
I'm not
did?
sure if that got mentioned, but yay on that. So yeah. CIPC plans. So that has not opened up to my knowledge.
Right.
Did you hear about that? I haven't heard about it opening.
No.
So we're kind of in a holding pattern on that.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of things that are in holding pattern right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you need any help? Are we good? You're just kind of waiting?
I'm just waiting.
I hear you. We're waiting.
And can we remind me what we're putting in for? I know we talked about it.
It was
and I-
just the lift we
The
decided.
lift, yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
completely, I was just like, I know it, but it wasn't
Yeah.
coming forward.
I was at the Fitchburg Senior Center working for at the election, and they have like they call it a pneumatic lift. I couldn't go in, but anyway, I'm going to send you the information about it.
Okay.
It looked like a little closet, that you go in and it could go upstairs, I guess.
Where was it?
But the
Fitchburg.
Fitchburg's, it's in the Armory.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, it's just another
Must be
example
a
of
nice
something.
building to have visited. Because I walk around the Armory, when
Yeah.
I worked in Fitchburg, I'd take walks.
It's their senior center, so
Oh,
they have,
that's neat.
yeah. So anyway, I just saw it, so
Okay.
so we'll send you that. in
Did
case-
that pass ADA?
What do you mean?
Is it an ADA certified lift?
I think so.
I've seen them, they're single person,
Yeah, I think so.
big enough for a wheelchair, but
Yeah,
one event.
yeah. But it's not like the one we have outside, it's more like it's
Enclosed.
built into the building. Anyway, I'll
Okay.
send you that. I can send it to everybody.
Yeah,
Please.
could you
Take a
send it
picture
to
of
everybody?
yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think it's called a pneumatic.
Our,
Anyway.
correct me if I'm wrong, but our lower level door into that lower level is ADA compliant?
I'd have to go back to the report. I'd have to read.
The lift intrigues me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than an outside lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the outside lift doesn't get you anywhere. Gets you up to a platform that you still have to
Go
jump
up
into the building.
That additional. I hear you. I hear you.
So I'm just gonna say, we hope to request to submit a request for an elevator. A lift.
Lift.
Or lift, yeah.
Yeah. Are we good? Library policies. Thank you, trustees and Chris, for coming and pushing through. Last Thursday, we met virtually and going through the policies. And thank you, shout out to Krista for taking notes. So similarly, information on legal consult review is on hold,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
So I will,
Is there a government shutdown or something that I don't know about?
yes, there is. So I will get more information to you guys as soon as I have it. I recently heard, and I liked the terminology of like a living document, so just a review of the comprehensive policies. Those that we have, it will continue to be edited and reviewed. I anticipate edits from legal consult. Krista had a suggestion, and we have some edits still to make, but then if we share it with all the trustees for some beautiful winter reading, and we'd like to see if it's possible for us to make a note of like trustees' approval pending legal review, because we might be in a holding pattern for a while. And if that is the case, that we could add that, I will then request the action that trustees review it, that we hold a motion to approve said policies, have a vote, discussion, etc. But that will be at a future meeting, okay?
Yeah, I was thinking I would check with MBLC, they have that, anyway, two people that are dedicated to working with trustees and also friends groups, and so I was gonna just check with her about, because I think the policies are up to us, and there's only a few places where we thought we should really have the legal review, so maybe we can approve it and just, more to just set a
Put
note
that
on
on.
it.
We may also be able to proceed as we are, because we also discussed there are additional policies we'd like to add. So if we can proceed in at least one step, but know that, one, as we create additional policies, but then we're going to be going back and doing regular reviews, making sure the links are still live, and then checking for verbiage if there are changes. I do not foresee us having to do a legal review every time we make changes. I would hope that we don't. And there are still some questions about that. So I thank you for all your input on it, and I invite any of the trustees at any point in time to go read, review, add comments, notes to it, bring it to our attention. And then likewise, if anybody else feels super passionate about the policies, we can have 3 trustees, and or if a few of you are super excited about it, speak up. But we welcome your feedback on the policies.
And I feel like we should get them in the binder, make them, usable as soon as possible, but
Exactly.
it's gonna be a little bit of time, so.
If you want me to do like a proofread of them, I can.
That would be great, because you're really good at it. That would be great.
Yeah, so just let me know when you're ready, like,
Okay.
for me to do that.
Because I noticed you had some comments in there that we sort of discussed, but I didn't see the actual, your actual wording and stuff, so. Yeah, that'd be
I would very much appreciate that.
Yep. So, yeah, just shoot me an email, like, when you're at a point where you're ready for a
Okay.
review.
Any other discussion on the policies before we move over to scholarship? And remind me, but Chris
Chris and I
Connie?
I think we're.
I think we just need to finish the rubric.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a better update in December.
Somebody came home last night with a really cool idea that I thought maybe the library trustees could suggest or adopt. Is in the past we've received applications and we review them ahead of time, and we had the rubric. Is if trustees each use the rubric to score on their own, we could submit it to the scholarship group to compile and have kind of that weighted grade to present. And that might expedite discussions and make the process of scholarship review much more efficient. So you guys had discussed weighted as well on the rubric, and I thought that was a great. So I think you guys are in a great direction.
Are you proposing one candidate, one reviewer? Oh,
Nope, I'm
Just
suggesting
summarize
all
the
the
individual
trustees.
rubrics.
So in the past where we've had the rubric and then at one point we added like, I'm not sure the wording, but like it was scholarship applicant number 1, applicant
Yeah.
number 2, things like that. And the trustees would go through the rubric and score them. Is if we had a request from the scholarship committee that all trustees submit their rubrics, graded rubrics, that it be compiled and that there be a, like,
Like ranked voting.
something like that.
So, yeah, I think you're saying like everybody would score the
their-
rubrics, we would get them, and then we would kind of look at an average or
Yeah.
figure out.
And at least
So-
it would get that discussion going that much faster.
We just have to pay attention to our dates, because I think sometimes it's like right before the meeting, so we just have to figure out ahead of time, just to make sure we have enough time to do that.
So we should probably present the finalized rubric in December.
I think so, right, because I think it's going out in
Because
January.
in January, we send out
Yeah.
the,
So, yeah,
Thank you, guys.
we'll get on it. So,
I think you guys are in a great direction. Great.
yeah, I think it's pretty much, I mean,
I think
it's nearly
it's
done.
It
nearly
is.
done.
And also, honestly, the rubric could come after as long as the application, because,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we wanted to send the rubric out with the
yeah, with it,
application.
it was
so-
going to be
so
part
they
of
see
it.
it.
Yeah, so students.
Phenomenal.
So people know what
I
they're
agree.
getting scored on and how they're getting scored.
I agree. I look forward to seeing that. Grants. Do we
I
have?
scheduled a meeting with Tricia, but we weren't able to meet. And so I'm gonna schedule, a follow-up. And the main thing is to just try to figure out a process for maybe evaluating grant opportunities, if we can, like ahead of time, just because of priorities, to make sure because we can get money for things, but we also have to be able to do the doing of the grant. So, and it says here also about ALA grants. Chris sent me an announcement about a possible grant, which has to do with accessibility for a particular group of people with a disability. Like the library would determine, like just for example, seniors with mobility problems or neurodivergent people, so we would choose a group and then try to develop a program for that, and also say what we were going to do, like a plan, which could include purchasing some things. But the other component is you have to have like a community forum to make sure you're on the right track. So you have to write the idea, and then if you get funded, you have to have the community forum, and then you can finalize it. So it's all really good things, but we only have a few people
It's
who
very
can do that.
involved.
Yeah. So we could definitely look at it. I mean, that is one question I had. Do all the trustees want to look at these things, or do we want to just like I'm doing right now, reporting on, potential opportunities. I think that particular one, the timing just really doesn't, it's kind of up to Chris, obviously, but it would be a lot to take on, I feel. But again, I haven't had a chance to talk to Tricia about any of these things.
I would like to state that basically what happens is I get emails
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, this is a grant. This might be something they're interested in. And then I
Good.
forward it to you.
Yes.
It is not
Right.
an endorsement. It is not a, hey, let's do this. It's,
Yeah.
I think this might fit the parameters of our strategic plan.
Yeah.
And I go from there. So
Yeah. No, but that's good, because there might be one that you say, we want to do this, so,
yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that whatever I'm sending you kind of it aligns with what your plans are for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So-
But I feel like it does have to come through the trustees somehow, because we're ultimately involved in the implementation of it. So like this digital one, we kind of found out about it at the end of the process. I mean, it's all good, and I think it will be a really good thing, but in the future, I'm just trying to figure out how we can kind of get in the loop a little bit earlier, but I haven't been able to do that yet.
to the best that time permits. I wouldn't mind looking and taking a stab, but I never know. Any other discussion, questions, comments about grants? Financial, we've already kind of discussed, but just making sure I have this kind of standing of the lower level is still standing here, but we've already kind of passed through that. And first floor rehab. Brick repairs, any further action on that? Discussion? So just as a standing item that we're still working on.
Well, and we're hoping to maybe be able to repurpose some of this, because isn't, at least one of these is CIPC. So when we get a chance to meet with the town administrator, he seemed to indicate that we might be able to repurpose some of the.
So if we want to repurpose, my understanding is that we would have to go through the process of basically you surrender and then you reapply.
Yeah, I guess
is
that's
what you do.
not
It's
really
not
repurposing, it's
repurposing.
surrendering. I get it.
So it's still going through the entire request for things. So my understanding is when we use up and or when we no longer need it, we return the money is not used and we say, well, it's released. I guess we can continue on. I would like to try to see, and I think that we're out of the season to try to work on the pointing.
I think it was
so
more
that's
the
one of my
first floor
concerns.
rehab.
Yeah.
Right.
First floor, yeah, and that's CPC
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
CPC.
Oh, it is CPC, I'm sorry.
First floor CPC.
Okay.
And that's
Brick
the-
pointing, I think, is CIPC.
Oh, okay.
I think
So
I-
maybe this
and-
is a moot point then, because we still want to do those
That
things.
that is including the lights in the children's room.
Yes.
And
We need
Some
the
windows.
yeah,
luminosity.
yeah, and
And-
matching.
Yeah.
Can we fold that into the RFP for the other thing? I'm just wondering if we're getting people to come in and do work, can they do?
That's probably a good idea.
I don't know. So that would be like beyond my scope of
Yeah, I
if it
don't
would be
know.
the same or if it would have to be a different request.
I think what Krista's asking is, can we, when you reach out for a general contractor, can you just,
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
but I think you could, you would just have to say, listen, these are coming from different accounts, so we would have to make sure that the monies that we owe for, say, the lighting in the children's room has one invoice that we can send for the CPC for that, whereas the work in the lower level would have a different invoice so that it would go for the 40,000 that you just received for the work. I'm sure this isn't the first time that they've had that issue, and I would just ask the general contractor if that's
And to
doable.
separate the invoices.
We don't want to slow down the downstairs renovation, but if it's possible, maybe that would help us spend the other money too.
And then, not to confuse, and I apologize for confusion in adding it, I learned about the RFQ to where if we are not at the point of having and procured enough quotes to proceed with the RFP, that we can start, and it speeds up the process of doing an RFQ, which is a request for quotes. So we do not need to wait to get the 3 or so quotes. So the RFQ is another process, the request for quote. And basically, it's saying that you did your best to try to procure, and if you get one quote, they still go through the same process, but it just speeds things up. So, so I had shared that information, and I apologize if I added any confusion. Any further discussion on those funding topics? All right, Friends of the Library update.
So we met on Monday. Chris was there, Tom was there, I was there, Whitney Feinberg was there, Donna Tebow was there, and Joni. Name
Oh my
escapes
goodness,
me.
I can see her,
Yeah.
I know, I just know her as Joni, I know her last name, but.
Okay, and also Ken Hovath was there.
I'm sorry?
Ken Hovath?
Horvath.
Horvath, yeah, Horvath. Horvath. He's an accountant, and so he is going to work with them to set up the nonprofit. Preliminary work that he has done is that there is currently a Friends of the Hubbardston Public Library Articles of Corporation for the state of Massachusetts. There's nothing has been done with it since like 2014 or 15, so it's inactive. The group also submitted paperwork to the IRS so that there is an employee identification number, and they also submitted paperwork so that that group would be recognized as a corporation. What they have not done, or we don't think that group did, was submit a Form 1023, which to the IRS, which would make them a nonprofit corporation. So right now, Whitney is going to kind of reach out to the Secretary of State to kind of see the status and see if we can somehow get it back to active. Ken is going to be reaching out to the IRS to see if indeed we have filed any kind of paperwork related to a 1023 to make us a nonprofit. So there's kind of two tracks going forward. If we are able to kind of reinstate what exists, it will be much faster, right? And so hopeful goals would be that that group could maybe be active by January 1st if all goes well. If we have to start over at the beginning, it'll just take longer. But there is a path going forward. Did I accurately reflect what was at the meeting?
Yep.
That's
There was no
great.
incentive to do it before January 1st.
No, there is no incentive because you
Because
have
of
to
the
file
tax
tax
year.
return. Yeah. So, so fingers crossed, all things told, January 1st, February, we would hopefully have a Friends group established.
Fantastic.
That is
Look
great.
forward to updates. Thank you, guys.
Do you have anything, you just summarized all that so well, and you can listen to it on the video, but were you reading from notes that you could send me? Okay. No problem.
You speak very eloquently.
Can you say it again?
It's okay.
I meant to write something up, but then I left my notes on my desk at work, and so.
No, it'll be in the
so,
video.
Get the extemporaneous speaking award.
Yes.
All right. We've reached the point. Are there any new items that, I'm sorry?
Just looking at the clock.
Yeah. And any discussion on the action items that we had? Not to delve into those. Does anybody have any questions? Cool.
I have
Looks
some
like you do.
unanticipated things, I'm sorry.
All right.
And they're just like cleanup things.
Mhm.
We have air conditioners, little portable air conditioners that we don't need anymore, because we have the heat, the splits.
Mhm.
So do you, as the trustees, have any desire as to what happens to them? In a staff meeting, Tricia thought that maybe that we could donate them to the Hubbardston House for people who need air conditioning there. I said, well, I don't know, because this is library property, so you guys get to make that, decision, not me, on what you want to do. If you want to just leave it here for now, in case,
Is there a need for it with the town as well?
I don't know the answer to that, but I can ask them.
Like, would the senior center benefit from it?
They have splits.
They have
Oh, they have
splits too.
splits now, okay.
So just curious on how the town offices were last summer.
That
and some
is
feedback
true.
that I had. Town to town entity, it may work well.
All right, I will check with
And
them.
and is there any laws related to municipalities about disposing property bought by town funds? Because I know for the state, like, I know at Pittsburgh State, like,
There's
we
like an
can't get,
option.
we have to like go through a whole list of things before we get rid of something. Does that apply to municipalities?
I don't know the answer to that. I do know that when I do the book sale, I give the money to the general fund
Mhm.
because they use the money for that, to raise the books, or to purchase the books, especially the ones that we lead. But I don't get rid of anything that I purchased, so
Mhm.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we just may want to look into that because there might be
Mhm.
some processes.
Travis might know.
All right. All right, so that was the first thing. I think that was it, actually. No, I talked to Ann and I thought I wrote it down. What did I do? Oh, just to let you know that there might be grants available for replacing the fire escape outside. So that is a possibility. And somebody mentioned to Tricia that it would be cute if we had a mural on the annex of the on the back of the library where the bathrooms are, where you go into the lower level. And I said, I'm not touching that one.
Inside or exterior?
Outside. Outside.
Somebody asked if we could have them.
Create a mural on, and when you look at the, I'm like, I don't know, I will check. But when you look at the wall, it's three-dimensional. There's like,
It's split block.
yeah, it's split block, so I think it would be
But
really
it's a
hard to.
historical building, too.
Oh,
Not that
Not
part,
the
not
annex.
the annex.
Oh.
The annex was built in like 1983 or something
Oh.
to add bathrooms to the downstairs and and add the vault and a storage room for the custodian. So that is not
But it
considered.
would still reflect on the historic nature of the overall
And
property.
that's why
I would
I'm
think.
not
Perhaps I
touching
better
I don't think we're ready to consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
we've got
something
enough
to
going
think
on.
about. You don't have to make, obviously, we don't have to make a decision now. I just wanted to let you know that somebody did ask about that. And I think that was it. Yep.
Tell me a little more about the fire escape replacement.
Tricia said that she found a grant that helps you replace fire escapes on buildings. So, and my response was, it was my understanding that the current idea is to not have a fire escape, but because there are some buildings that can't have the reinforced stairwells that they want in buildings now, that they're offering grants to replace the existing fire escapes on buildings that they can't do that, where they would reinforce a stairwell for you.
Normally, that stairwell is located right next to the elevator.
True.
Just saying. Just
So
saying.
I'm just giving you a heads up that is a possibility. And I don't have any paperwork for it at this time.
But Tricia's looking into it.
I believe she is, yes. In
Because-
all of her spare time.
Yeah. Because it's in the back of the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know where the elevator would go if we were to get it, We wouldn't want to do it and then have to do it again.
Win, not win.
When?
All right. According to my calendar, our next meeting would fall on Thursday, December 4th at 7 o'clock. Does that concur with anybody? No conflicts? Are there any last calls for any other items? I thank you all.
We could invite the town administrator to the
It
December
wasn't an
meeting.
invitation
Yeah.
already.
Okay,
and,
good. We'll see if it works.
We will see with items. Just to follow up on the agenda, and I apologize about the minutes not being linked, was the agenda viewable, technical?
Yes.
Okay, all right. May I ask a motion to adjourn?
The agenda was late.
No, I didn't, within the agenda, the minutes for October.
Oh.
I may have misspoke, I apologize.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Maria. Do I have a
Second.
second? All in favor of going home? Or going somewhere?
I'm sorry,
You don't
Chris,
have to go
did
home.
Did you second?
I think so.